Hi, welcome to Dr. Kim's English Tip of the Week. Today we're going to go over a sentence improvement question in the English grammar section of the SAT. The first tip I would like to give is to understand what type of sentence you're dealing with. And about 90% of the time you're going to encounter complex sentences on the SAT, just because of the difficulty, because they're complex. What a complex sentence is basically two clauses joined by a comma without a conjunction. And you obviously see them frequently all the time. A little bit deeper into that, what you're going to see is a dependent clause and an independent clause. And basically what an independent clause is a sentence that could stand on its own. And if you look here closely at number 35, it says nothing was analyzed in any detail. So what is completely underlined here is the independent clause. And what we have as having tried to cover too much territory in a brief essay is the dependent clause. And so we have to see if our independent clause is suitable in this situation. The second rule, very important, is that the subject of the sentence in complex sentences must be at the beginning of the independent clause. And the word here we see is the word nothing. Nothing. Now, is nothing the subject of the sentence? One thing we have to understand as well is the third tip that I like to give is that the dependent clause always modifies the subject of the independent clause. Having tried to cover too much territory in a brief essay. Was nothing trying to cover too much territory in a brief essay? Obviously not. So nothing is incorrect. Therefore, we could cross out A, B, and D. Immediately by knowing that one tip, we have a 50-50% chance of getting the correct answer. But we're a little bit smarter than that. Let's look at C, the analysis. Was the analysis trying to cover too much territory in her brief essay? Obviously not. And we can cross out C, and we're left with, again, she. She is a subject of our sentence. She was trying to cover too much territory in her brief essay. Therefore, she failed to analyze anything in detail. It is as easy as that. Let us review the 3 points one more time. Number one, understand what type of sentence you're dealing with, and we're dealing with a complex sentence. Number two, a rule in a complex sentence is that the subject must go at the beginning of the IC in what we see here as in nothing. Number three, the dependent clause modifies the IC. The subject of the sentence, which is at the beginning of the IC. Now, obviously, we see here that it's not correct, and she is the only answer that works. Stay tuned for more tips on Dr. Kim's SAT Academy here on YouTube.